guys, this is George with Diamondyard Sportscards, here coming at you with another video. I want to talk a little bit today about your collecting goals, or as I call it, the collecting quest. A lot of you guys I've seen, and you motivated me a lot at the end of 2018, talking about the different collecting goals that everyone in the community had, and to kind of set yourself some of these goals so that you can follow up and be held accountable for it, but just try to really be focused on your collecting. And so I've always kind of wanted to have more of a goal-oriented collection. I've just kind of bought stuff that I really liked, or just certain Hall of Famers I really like, and I just purchase their cards. If I find a good deal, I do that, or a nice one that's well-centered, has good registration. However, to actually just go out and say, hey, I want to buy these cards, that took a little while for me to digest. And I know that a lot of guys in the community, whether it was Stove Sports did this, put his collecting goals, same with Base 1986, Baseball Collector's talking about goals and sets that he always does, Silver Jackify. I don't want to leave anybody out, but I know that there were hundreds of videos in the community about your collecting goals. So I made a big pickup at the Long Beach show, and I'm going to go over it with you guys. I bought one thing at the Long Beach show. I bought, traded, and so on to get the funds to be able to pick up this card. And it was because it was on my Holy Grail list. And so I made a Holy Grail list from this year, for this year, 2019 collecting goals. At the top of the list, and I'm going to spin it around now and talk a little bit about that. But I think some very important things on your collecting goals need to be keep in mind. Not only you have to find the right card, mine are all vintage cards, but you have to find the right card for you that's in your price range. But you also have to keep in mind about the rarity of it. How often is it going to come up on eBay, or are you going to see it at a show? Is it worth seeing it at a show more than buying it on eBay, because you can actually see the card right there? And so with a lot of these vintage cards, it's really important to be able to see them in person, or buy them from a reputable seller that you trust. So anyway, I'm going to show you what my goals were, and then I'm going to do this reveal of this card I'm really excited about. Here we go. Okay guys, my collecting goals for 2019 were as follows, and I wrote them down right here. And this piece of paper is nice and worn and spilled on and everything. And that's because as part of this collecting quest, I put this on my nightstand. Now, I did that because I'm a dork. I also did that because I knew my wife would make fun of me, and I spilled a bunch of stuff on it. But the main purpose was for me to figure out and to remind myself consistently about different cards I'm trying to get. Now, these are obviously higher-end vintage cards, depending on your, the grade. But either way, even if I got a 1 on these cards, it would have to be the right one that I wanted to get. Now, the 51 Bowman Maze, I'm going to do a video about that later on at a later point this year. But I did pick up a 51 Bowman Maze. So I went to the Long Beach show thinking I want to pick up on this list cards 1 of cards 2 through 5. Now, when you start thinking about this list, or any list regarding these types of cards, what's the rarity? What are you going to find? The 51 Bowman Willie, there's 1,408 total graded. So that's a little bit more than the Jackie, which has 1,103 graded, according to PSA. The Clemente is very prevalent. So you can find a Clemente very often. There's 4,071 graded. So when you get down to it, the rarer of these are the 39 play ball Ted Williams and the 41 DiMaggio. The 41 DiMaggio has 660 graded, and the Williams has 891 graded. So this was my list. Now, obviously, these autographs and the Burke Ross cards, they're kind of off the list, but I went to the Long Beach show thinking I want to pick up at least one of these cards, and I brought a ton of cards to trade. And so what I did was I traded about 28 cards and got credit and so on. And what I picked up, I saw this card right when I got to the show, and I said, this is the one for me. Bought it off a dealer that we're very familiar with. And this is a 39 play ball Ted Williams. Now, Andy Maddock is the dealer that I purchased this off of. As soon as I saw this card, I said, wow, this thing is centered like I can't believe. And that's very important to me. The registration is really good as well. You can see Ted's pretty clear there. It's a black and white photo. The only thing that I could find really that was an issue, honestly, was this little white mark right here. But other than that, the back was clean. See if I can get a better picture here. Sorry, guys. And you can see, because this rookie card, there's very little on the back here. There's very little language. One of the youngest players in baseball, a great future, according to experts. Ted hits one of the longest and hardest balls in the major leagues today. So this Williams card was on my Holy Grail list, and I was really excited to find this specific one at the show. And Andy Maddock was willing to work with me in trade on a lot of things, and so this is the only thing that I picked up. Now I might submit this for a review to see if I can get it bumped to a 5. I think that might actually work. We'll see. But maybe I'll try that next year in February at the show. So guys, thank you for watching. I'm going to cross this one off the list, and remember, make your collecting goals, point them out, follow them, stay with them, and keep collecting.